Welcome back to the studios here at MyNews 26 and tonight's 102nd District debate. We are on question number 12 and we will start with Mr. Gabert. Sir, if you're elected to office, what might your first item on the agenda be?
I would start with election reform, campaign finance reform, and making voting easier. I'd also like to, I'm getting more than one issue, but basically they revolve around making democracy stronger.
Fair. Thank you, sir. Ms. Hoidinga, same question.
I know you use the word democracy a lot, but we are a republic, for which we stand, but we are an awesome republic, and we have a constitution what tells us what we should and shouldn't be doing as legislators. My answer to this question is now changing over the last couple of weeks after I've seen what national mandates are doing to us here locally. And so I couldn't explain this in the minute that I have, the 30 seconds I have left, but there is something called Convention of States. And if you Google it or look it up, I'm really a proponent of this. And this is taking states' rights back from our federal government. Bureaucrats who are out of touch with what's going on here in Michigan, tired of them making decisions for us that are harming us here in northern Michigan. And so I'm going to be a huge proponent of seeking out ways to make the Convention of States happen, and I'm in Michigan especially.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gabert, any response?
I am opposed to the Convention of States because I think there are other ways to amend our Constitution. One problem with the Convention of States is it takes 3/4 of the states to sign on to starting the process, and then 3/4 to agree to the changes. I don't see that likely as happening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you both. We'll move on to question 13. We'll start with Ms. Hoidinga. In your opinion, what should be the ultimate goal of state government?
Okay, so I'm going to rebut to that, and I'll take up my time. The states across the nation, especially Texas, they have done a mock convention of states, actually. The states are getting on board with this. They're pretty sick and tired of bureaucrats in Washington destroying our states, telling us what to do. And the states are really coming on board. And you do need a lot of states on board with this, but I see it happening. I see it coming to fruition, actually. Okay, I'm sorry, what was the rest of the question?
Your thoughts on the ultimate goal of state government?
The ultimate goal of state government is to back off of our rights, quit infringing on our liberties. They should take care of our infrastructure and take care of those who cannot take care of themselves. But government is not the solution to our problems. Our solutions are found in our schools, our communities, and our churches, and it starts with our families.
Thank you. Mr. Gabert?
I think in the state constitution, for instance, it says the public health and general welfare are matters of primary public concern. So I think the state, part of the state role is attending to that. Back to the, if I can work another rebuttal in here, back to the Obamacare issue, returning that to the states would be returning it to what we had. And we had off and on a state medical assistance program, which your income needed to be literally no more than a couple $100, even over 30 years that I worked for it. It didn't cover a lot of things. It wasn't offered every year. The last years I was working, it was offered for a month or two. There was a cap on enrollment. So I don't think it did a very good job. And that is a state responsibility to provide for public health.
30 seconds, Ms. Hoidinga.
Okay, I'm just at a loss of words that we're still having the conversation that Obamacare is a good thing. States taking back the rights to make decisions on behalf of if you want to put federal monies into it, let the block grants come down, and then let our states make the decisions how best to take care of our people. And we need to keep it back at states' rights.
Thank you. Thank you both. Our final question, we'll start with Mr. Gabert. Sir, what do you feel your greatest achievement to date is and why?
Actually, it has nothing to do with this, but it's my marriage and how our son turned out. That's really it.
Thank you. Ms. Hoytinga?
So far, my greatest achievement is making it through the primary election. That was pretty tough battle. I've answered this question before in another forum, and we had a lot of kids in our town who were riding skateboards in the middle of the highways, the streets, and on businesses. And I approached the kids and I said, listen, you guys are going to be in trouble. If I help you raise money to build a skate park, will you stay off the business parking lots and stay out of the roads? And they agreed to do that. And we built we built a skate park. It's called Ramp and Rail. And we did that, and it gave the kids some hope. And I feel really proud of that accomplishment, and it still exists in our city today.
Very cool. Thank you. Mr. Gaybert, I realize there's not much of a rebuttal necessarily to that, but you have 30 seconds.
I was pretty brief on that. I thought I did a good job in state employment in working in a fairly weird bureaucracy. I went out of my way for clients to push for policy exceptions when I thought that was merited. And I served as a union steward in Mecosta County, and I thought I did a good job representing employees.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Well, that ends our series of questions, and now it is time for closing remarks from both of our candidates, and we will begin with Ms. Hoytinga.
I am excited to be here. I'm excited to be running for state representative. I do feel I am the most qualified through my diverse experience as mayor, as a military mom, as a business owner. I really see the issues. I see how our veterans are being treated in certain aspects, and it's breaking my heart. We should not have homeless veterans. I really have a passion for this, for helping people. My whole life I've been of service and I volunteered, and to run for state rep, I can be of service at a whole new level. And I'm really excited about that, and I really hope everyone votes for me on November 8th.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Gaybert, your final thoughts.
I believe my different perspective from previous state representative candidates would give me an edge. It takes courage to run for state representative, and I know you have it as well. It takes a certain amount of chutzpah to run as a Democrat in this district. My academic background is history, and I tend to take the long view on things, which I think is an advantage. I've self-funded this campaign on a shoestring, and I think that's an advantage because unlike you and unlike many other candidates, I haven't taken any special interest money. Most do, both sides of the party, but I think it's a conflict of interest or could present one, so I would like to see campaign finance reform, and I would push for that. I think I am a liberal Democrat, no doubt about that. I voted for George McGovern in my first election that I could vote. I do have, though, a moderate temperament, which I think would serve me well if I was in either party.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you to both of you. With that, we have wrapped up tonight's Michigan State House 102nd District debate. We'd like to offer our sincere thanks to both of our candidates, Doug Gaybert and Michelle Hoytinga, for taking the time to share their thoughts and views, and we want to thank you, our viewers, for taking the time to watch. We hope this has been an informative event, and we encourage you, please vote on November 8th. Thank you, and good night.